Alright, Pacific Northwest beer review. This is the Great Pacific Northwest Pumpkin Harvest. Are you guys ready? We're going to do things a little bit different because this is our largest heads-up beer review yet. Considering we've only done heads-up between two different beers. So, the way that we've done it is we've got scorecards. We're going to do a 1 out of 5 scoring, except for the bonus score, which is for pumpkin flavor. That's going to be doubled. So we're going to give it 1 out of 5 and then double the bottom one. We're going to give 1 out of 5 star ratings for pour, carbonation, smell, color, barm, flavor. And yes, we have candy pumpkins for decoration. We also have skeleton cups for cleansing the palate. And we have 6 freaking pumpkin beers. This is going to be our most miserable beer review yet. If you guys are watching at home, though, I'm going to post the scores and stuff up on Facebook. You can go, and if you can find any of these anywhere, do your own review, send us the scores on Facebook, and we'll average it all out, and at the end of the year, we'll have an overall winner and whatnot. But after this review, we're going to do our own winner out of the 6. But let's introduce the competitors. We've got the Rogue Pumpkin Patch Ale, the New Belgium Pump Kick, the Squashbuckler from Fort George, Elysian Night Owl, Elysian Dark of the Moon, and Blue Moon Harvest Pumpkin Ale. Obviously, New Belgium and Blue Moon are from Colorado, but for this review, since we had a little bit of trouble finding pumpkin beers, we're going to call Colorado Pacific Northwest. Because it's only a little bit over, and they have legal weed like the rest of the Northwest. So, we're going to jump right into Elysian Dark of the Moon Pumpkin Stout. Alicia's going to be keeping a score on hers. I'm going to be keeping a score on mine. And we're going to be posting scores online. So, we're going to be looking first at pour. So, let's see how this is pouring. I believe this is the only stout in the contest. I think all the rest ones are ales. And we got a nice good stout pour. It's a little light on the barm, but I think I'm going to give the pour a 4 out of 5. I don't know what Alicia's going to score the pour at. Carbonation, it's carbonating pretty good, but it's not got a very thick barm, so I'm going to give the carbonation a 3.
I'm going to wait to taste.
Okay. She's going to wait to taste. I'm going to do a smell test real fast. Oh, wow.
That smells like dessert.
Yeah, I'm going to give that a 5 on the smell test. The color is really, really dark. The barm's got kind of a nice brownish color. I think I'm going to give it a 4 on the color. It's the only stout. Barm's really, really light, so I'm going to give it a 2. But we're going to go right into the flavor. This is going to be your basic ale, or your basic stout flavor is how we're going to rate it. But we're going to give it bonus points for pumpkin, and it smells like freaking pumpkin cake. It is delicious smelling. Okay. It's got a pumpkin cake stout chocolatey coffee flavor.
That's good.
Okay. I'm going to save it right now, but I want to say that's the best pumpkin beer I've ever had so far. On flavor, I'm going to give it a 4. Bonus pumpkin flavor, since we're timesing it by 2. I'm going to give it an 8. It was really, really good. I'm really surprised. That was Elysian Dark of the Moon Pumpkin Stout, everybody. Like I said, if you could find these, go ahead, drink them, score them up. I'm going to drink a little bit of water real fast.
You want to hand me the other?
Cleanse our palates between.
Thank you.
Just make sure the camera's still recording.
Looks like it.
Okay. New Belgian Pump Kick is the next one. Yep, got it on yours too. I broke them up in the same order. just so everyone knows, we didn't do any kind of reading up on flavors or anything before we did this. There's the Pump Kick label.
A little back this way.
Kind of cool, but it's not my, it's not the best label. The Dark of the Moon label is pretty good. I will be posting pictures we took of all the bottles before we started. Okay. Again, pretty solid pour. I'm going to give it a 4. Carbonation seems to be good. I'm going to give it a 4 there. Let's see what we got for smell. I'm going to give the smell like a 3. We got a bunch of coriander flavor going on there I'm not super fond of.
Let's see.
I'm going to give the color about a...
Doesn't have a very strong smell.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give the color a 3 too. It's got an okay ale color, but it looks like it's a little bit too light to me for a pumpkin beer. The barm seems to be pretty good, so I think I'm going to rate the barm at a 4. We're going to go right into the flavor test. Yeah. So I'm going to give the overall flavor a 3. I can get some pumpkin flavors off of it though. So I think I'm going to give it a 3 on the pumpkin flavor, which will boost it up to 6. It's not an awesome pumpkin flavor. I don't think it's as good as the Dark Moon by any means. She's checking what I scored it at. I'm going to have a palate cleanser here. We're going to step into the Blue Moon. No, that wasn't bad. Not great. I kind of got hints of coriander on the smell, and I wasn't super fond of that, but I could get some spice taste out and a little bit of pumpkin taste.
Why don't you move those back by the bottles so they're out of the way?
Oh. I was thinking about leaving them up front, but...
Or you could do that.
Seemed like it would be easier. I give that a 3 for the pour. Set that there wrong. Gonna rate the carbonation at a 5. The reason why I rated it so low on the pour is because the carbonation was actually fighting me a little bit. We're gonna go in for the smell now. It smells a little bit like the Pump Kick, only not as strong. I'm gonna give the smell a 2 because it's...
I think it smells a little better.
Yeah.
It smells stronger, actually, to me.
It smelled a little less strong to me. It definitely didn't have enough the same coriander bite. I like the color a little bit more on this for some reason, so I'm going to give the color a 4. Rank the barm a 4. What we get for flavor? Oh, pumpkin spice is here. Ugh. I'm going to give it a 2 on the flavor.
I thought it wasn't too bad.
And then we're going to...
Is this that one?
I just wasn't as fond of it for some reason. And then I'm going to give it a 3 to bump it up to 6 for the pumpkin flavor bonus. What are we at next? Oh, okay. The other entry from Elysian. The Night Owl. Night Owl has one of the coolest labels.
I think you're in there.
Okay.
It's hard to see because the stand is in the way.
After this, we're going to try to drink as much of this as we can, but some of it's probably going to end up in beer brats. I was a little curious. And the cap went away. I was a little curious about the Elysian beers because those that don't know, Elysian has their own pumpkin beer festival. And now we're playing Mug Roulette. The other Elysian was a stout, though, and this is an ale. Not much for bar, but wow, look at that carbonation. We have to pour another 4. And you have the carbonation of 5, because the carbonation on that's out of the world, but the barm is non-existent. See what we got for smell. I'm going to give the smell a 2. It's a very light smell, and there's not a lot going on it. Thinking color 4. Barm 1, because it's non-existent. That's going to be our first 1 score.
Ew, that's weird.
And apparently it's the That's Weird flavor from Alicia. It's got some interesting pumpkin spice flavor going on. Thinking overall flavor is going to get a 3. Pumpkin flavor bonus. I'm going to take another 3 for another 6. It's got some pumpkin spiciness. Alright. Fort Georgia Squashbuckler. Probably the best label. Bunch of pumpkins getting squashed. The camera is still recording, right?
Yep.
Okay. Make sure before we get too crazy into it. There we go. We're going to scooch these back on down.
This one had a bunch of different squash varieties in it, right?
We squash a whole lot of fresh pumpkin into every bottle, so I'm thinking it's just a whole lot of fresh pumpkin.
Must have been the other one she was
Yeah, there was
about.
another one that Fort George has that's got a bunch of different squash. Okay, that was an awesome pour. You guys should be really proud over in Astoria, Oregon of your Squashbuckler pour. I'm going to give it a 5. Carbonation on this is really good. Not quite as good as the last one, the Elysian. So I'm going to give it a 4. I'm going to go in for the smell. I give that a 4 on the smell. I like the color on that one a lot.
I don't know, it smells kind of like damp wood.
I'm going to give it a 5 on the color. Oh, it smells kind of interpretive. I kind of thought it smelled like really good ale to me. Barm's pretty good right now. Probably the best barm out of the 5 that we've had so far. I'm thinking I'm just going to go high on the barm on this one. But the flavor, we haven't had a taste yet. Let's see what it tastes like.
It's not my style. It's a little bitter for me.
It tastes like an IPA. And you don't get very much pumpkin flavor on it. Like, hardly at all pumpkin flavor. I'm going to give it a 4 on the flavor. Because I'm really enjoying the...
bitterness?
The bitterness and the smoothness of what tastes like a rich, malty IPA to me. But I'm not getting much on the pumpkin in. So, I think bonus pumpkin flavor, unfortunately, is just going to be a 1 here. So this will pick it up to 2 because we're timesing it by 2. This says it's loaded full of pumpkins. I'm not really seeing it, but it tastes like a really good IPA that they started out with. Rogue Pumpkin Patch Ale. Which means we're going to finish out on... Oh, we're finishing out on Rogue Pumpkin Patch Ale. That's kind of fitting considering this is the most expensive bottle at $10. I think it's also the biggest bottle. Let's see how she pours. Oh, I love that sound. Let's make it a glub, 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 glub sound. I'm going to contribute to that to the bottle, but I think it's awesome, and I think I'm going to give it bonus points on the pour. And in all honesty, that was a great freaking pour. Yeah, I'll have to give it a 5 on the pour. We got great carbonation. I'm going to give it a 5 on carbonation. What we got for smell? I think I'm going to do a 3 on the smell. Scoot up that card. That's a great dark color. I'm going to give it a 4 on color. And looks like we're going to get a 4 on Barm. We're going to go in for the flavor and the pumpkin flavor bonus. Oh. So much coriander. I'm joking.
Ew.
Yeah, that is corianderific. Is that a word?
Sure.
I'm going to give it a 2 on the flavor. I'm sorry.
That's what I did. I don't like it.
I can't notice the pumpkin spice flavor. I think a lot of that has to do with the coriander, so I think I'm going to give it a 3 on the pumpkin flavor, and I'll bump it up to 6 because pumpkin flavor bonus is doubled. We're going to upload this video and total out our scores real fast and have a couple more sips. If I had to pick an overall winner right now, I'd go Elysian Dark the Moon. It was the only stout, so that's a little not fair in a way.
No, I prefer stout, so it's definitely my favorite.
But it was a really, really good stout. My personal pick, besides the one stout, might be the Squashbuckler, if you had to pick an ale out of them. If you had to pick an ale, which one would you choose, you think?
I don't remember which ones I had.
I like the carbonation on the Night Owl.
Actually, I think I put Blue Moon was my other high one.
Oh, there you go.
What was that one?
The Blue Moon.
Blue Moon Harvest Pumpkin Ale.
Yeah, surprisingly not that bad. It's pretty good.
It had a slightly sweeter flavor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like bitter, so sweet was better for me.
I feel like a lot of them had kind of a loft of coriander, though, which kind of made me score them lower, especially if the coriander got really high, like the Harvest Pumpkin Ale. Just not a fan of that. But there was a lot of things about the pumpkin ale I did like, the Harvest Pumpkin Ale, the Rogue. But at the same time, I'm like, coriander. Anyways, ready to total the scores. Post all the information so that if you want to, you can go and drink these and rate them your own way on what we scored. And we will average your scores into ours. At the end of the year, we'll have a overall ranking. But we will have a ranking today for how we thought these did. But like I said, if I had to pick one overall, not off the scores and off of what I liked, it would be the Dark of the Moon. Really awesome stuff. I would like to go to the Elysian Pumpkin Bear Festival one day. But yeah, we're going to take a break, upload this, and then upload a video with our scoring. Alright, bye guys, hope you enjoyed.